Yes, I guess we are live now. Let me quickly check certain settings. Yeah. Okay. So let's wait for a few minutes. Let other people join. Then we'll start our Q&A session. Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Uh, Before we start the session, can anybody confirm in the live chat? Am I audible properly? Hey, hi, Hasir. Good to see you again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again. Hey, hi, Shiva. Hi, Kula. Hi, Shashi. Hi, brother. How are you? I'm good, brother. What about you? So, thank you so much for the confirmation. Yeah, we can start now. Hey, Praveen. Good to see you in YouTube live too. Hi, Tejash. So, guys, this is a quick Q&A session. It has been almost 2 months. We did not discuss anything related to automation. So, if you have any questions, if you query, if you want to know anything about the new tools or anything which is running in your mind, feel free to ask. Mohit Rochlani. Okay, my Sindhi friend. Hi, Rohit. I'm good. What about you? Yeah, Venkatesh. Hi, Vinay. Hi, SM. Hi, Raj. Yeah, so feel free to shoot your questions. We'll take these questions one by one. So, okay, so here we go. Our first question from Deepak. After Selenium and API, what to learn, Playwright or Cypress? See, Deepak, it's a right time to learn one of the tool. I would recommend if you're already comfortable with Java, maybe you can start Playwright with Java so that you will understand Playwright features. But let's say if you're completely new to Java, maybe you have learned Selenium with JavaScript, then I would say start with Cypress. Down the line, 5 years, 6 years down the line, these are the tools which is going to have a big competition. So if you already have Java knowledge, start with Playwright with Java. But if you're looking for a job change, Cypress have more demand. Most of the job requirement you will see Cypress first, and few of the job requirements now you see Playwright as well. So my preference, if you're looking for a job change, go with Cypress. If you're exploring in terms of features, the new tool, new features which is coming in, start Playwright. Venkatesh, hi sir, can you please share some info about Chaos testing? This is a new term for me, Venkatesh. Maybe I need to check and maybe I will get back to you on this. How's the Q market now? So yeah, Rohit, I can see if you open LinkedIn almost every day, I'm seeing 5 to 6 candidates are getting good offers. So market is good. Only thing is, it's little competitive. You might get multiple calls, but if you are not good in terms of skills, then you might struggle. So market is good. No openings are coming. So best time was May. I can see a lot of openings were coming. June still I can see a few openings are coming. But again, June is a second quarter. Many companies uh, they will start again hiring from the Q3. Okay, so let's say if companies starting their financial year in January. So for few companies, Q3 will start from July. For few companies, Q2 will start in July. So July is the best time if you have not prepared. If you are still planning, maybe you can start from July. You will see a lot of openings again in July, first or second week. Hi, Prashant. Yes, yes. How's the job market now for Switch? I have 3 years experience in manual plus automation. See, market is good. Yes, as I mentioned again, uh, 3 years experience. It's not a criteria. The criteria should be if you're not happy with the tool stack that you're working, if you're not happy with the work-life balance, the salaries part, then there's no right time for switch. Whenever you think that you are not getting enough respect, you're missing a skill set, plus you are not able to maintain other stuff, you should always do the switch. So I generally recommend till 10 plus experience you can do maybe 3 4 switches, but after 10 years you will get less calls. So do the initial switch for the next few years, because after 10 years you will get less calls. I did my first switch when I had 2 years experience, so yeah, you can look for a change. Nowadays lot of talks about Cypress versus Playwright. Your thought on this, what to learn after Selenium? uh Girish, again, depends on the requirement. If you're looking for a job change, Cypress. If you're looking for a new tool that you want to add in your resume, go with Playwright. I was looking for an ISTQB foundation level course. Can you start with that course? Aditya, I don't have any videos on manual testing overall. So there are a lot of YouTube channels where you find end-to-end videos about ISTQB. Even if you don't go through the videos, you will see a lot of ISTQB dumps. You can go through 5 to 6 years of dumps. That is more than enough. How to select the drop down without select class and select. See, Rajkaran, whenever you have any drop down which is not having select tag, the standard is find elements, store all the elements in a list, run a loop, put a condition, and click on that element. So whether it's a non-select drop down, calendar controls, auto suggestion, anything which is not having, if you talk only terms of drop down, find elements, but anything which has more than one web element, go with find elements, run a loop, put a condition, break. What's your opinion on career as automation in Selenium with Python? In terms of openings, less openings if you compare with Selenium with Java. So this is the market: Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, Selenium with C Sharp. So C Sharp will be on third, Python will be on second, Selenium with Java will be on the first. How to start learn AI testing. So Sashi, for this I will bring a dedicated video. So uh, I have few videos how you can use AI in testing, but AI testing basically you will be testing the models. So I'll make a video on this. I'm preparing one video for this. Most probably next week you will get one video on AI testing. Why sir, will there be scope for automation in future? Yes, Rajik. See, there's a no question about it. If you do not have automation knowledge, then chances of getting off calls is almost zero. So it's not a optional thing, it's a mandatory skill. So you don't have to think about scope and all. It's a mandatory skill. Even if you apply as a fresher role, you should have automation basic idea. Ganesh says, can very fluent English require? Not very fluent, like fluent English, Ganesh. Even if you are able to convey your, basic thoughts, the answers, that is enough. See, I'm not very good in English, but still I'm able to convince what about my thoughts, feelings, or the knowledge which I want to share. Suppose somebody is very good in English, okay, very fluent in English, but that person is weak in technical. So again, that will not be the ideal candidate. So it has to be mixed. You have to know the technical, plus you should have some basic English that you can communicate. That's all. They're not expecting some highly professional fluent English trainer, something like that, right? They're expecting someone who can communicate with the team, who can communicate with the product owner, scrum master, client, stakeholder, right? Basic communication is expected. So don't worry about fluent English and all. Manik Tyagi says, please let me know if we can run Cucumber Java JUnit project with runner class. Currently, I'm able to run it with Maven configuration. Yes, Manik. So basically, eventually our goal will be running from Maven build, right? The moment, let's say, using any CI/CD server, Jenkins, TeamCity, Bamboo, it has to trigger your Maven build. Maven build will trigger your runner class. Your runner class will pick multiple feature files, and that feature file will run your spec files. So that is the end flow. So if you're able to run via Maven configuration, that is what we need. But let's say if you do not have even Maven configuration, that runner class that you created, it's a Java class, right? So without Maven also you can run with the help of pure Java commands. Akula says, hi Mukesh, any plan starting mobile automation session or batch? As of now, no plans for mobile automation classes. So right now I'm running two batches, one with Selenium with Java, and the second batch is run which is API testing with Postman and Rest Assured. So Postman almost we finished. Most probably one more weekend or two more weekend. Then we will start Rest Assured. Next batch will be on Cypress or Playwright, but mobile automation right now no plans. So you can watch one channel by Pawan Esdet. He has very good around 26 videos on APM latest version. So you can watch that particular series. How much JavaScript coding is required for a web automation tester? See, Aditya, when it comes to how much, it's very subjective. So when it comes to automation engineer, you should understand the core part, or I will say the basics of programming till your exception handling. So whether you talk about Java, Python, JavaScript, C Sharp, so you can start with variables, okay, then data types, then go with conditional statements, looping statements, then string, then array, oops concept, exception handling, dynamic data structure, file handling, and you can stop. This much is needed, whether it's JavaScript, Java, or Python. Then it starts your framework, okay? So you can use different libraries. Let's say if you want to build a web application, you will use a different framework or library. But let's say if you're automating any application, you will use certain tools. So this core fundamentals is required irrespective which programming language you're using. Bhagesh says, how's the job market for QA? I have seen many playwrights Cypress opening in demand compared to Selenium for experience. So Bhagesh, see, that is a good thing. If you're able to identify the trend, if you're able to identify that something is required, please learn it, because once you understand any tool, switching to a new tool will not take much time. If you can see that something is picking up in the market, please go and understand, grab that opportunity. Because again, after a few years, everybody will understand Cypress. Everybody will have idea of playwright. So it is in the initial phases. Please learn. I have around uh, 23 videos on Cypress, 29 videos on Playwright. You can start from that. Maybe once I start a batch, I will announce. But something which is you can see clearly, it might pick up in the future. Please go ahead and learn. Is DSA required for joining Mang based companies as I said? Yes. See, it's not that you will be working on data structure every day, but they have a filter criteria, right? Because all these Mang based companies, they have so many candidates, they have to filter out. So coding around which they have, which is basically on data structure algorithms, so that will actually filter most of the candidates. So if you're targeting these good companies, spend 6 months on DSA. Next, Java Selenium sessions. Sashi, I'm starting a new batch in August because the current batch will get over in July. So most probably first week or second week, we will be starting Selenium with Java. Cypress batch will start after Raksha Bandhan, most probably from the third week of August. She says, please provide us how to run our automation test XML file from GitHub Actions as CI/CD platform. Hope it is easy to learn. Someone need to understand DevOps part. Yes, Hasir, I already have a GitHub repository, so maybe quickly I can share. Give me a minute. Let me share my screen. So basically, if you go to my this repository, which is Maven Jenkins, I have all the workflows here. This is for schedule test. This is your dependent test, and this is your cross-platform test. Let's say if you go to this particular file, and if you go to workflow file, I have mentioned how to use GitHub Actions to run your testng.xml file. So I will be sharing this link right away. Just go to this repository, click on action. The workflow which I have created, each workflow have certain configuration. Have a look. If you need any help, you can ping me. So I've given the link in the chat. Okay, I lost the question. Just give a minute. Okay, another question from Deepak. Add to what different DevOps and CI/CD tool we can learn as automation tester perspective apart from Azure DevOps Jenkins. See, Deepak, when it comes to Again, you're thinking only from automation perspective, right? So when you're talking about DevOps, understand the complete DevOps cycle, the roles, responsibilities. Then you will start implementing the tools accordingly. For example, let's say if I want to deploy Selenium Grid, Selenium Grid I can deploy using Docker containers. So we have a Docker Compose YAML file, right? Another way to look at it, that you can also deploy Selenium Grid from Kubernetes. So that is a close way to look, that you want to deploy Selenium Grid with Kubernetes on AWS or maybe Azure. So you need to understand Kubernetes first. Let's say you don't want to use Kubernetes, you can use Terraform. Using Terraform also you can create your Selenium Grid. So Terraform and Kubernetes, this will be the closely related as of now. Moving forward, don't think only from automation perspective. Understand the complete DevOps cycle, right from build till the deployment on the production. What other tools are required, you can implement. See, mostly we are using anyways Git, we are using GitHub, we are using Maven, we're using Jenkins, we're using AWS. So most of the tools we are already using. You need to understand certain tools which is required for infrastructure, for monitoring. Like you can use Prometheus for monitoring. You can also use Chef, okay, for infra. The multiple AWS services like EKS, ECS, EC2 anyways for instances. So the multiple services by AWS, multiple service by Azure. So depends on the use cases. You have to pick one service from each category, but understand what categories we have. If possible, I will bring one of my friend who is a DevOps engineer. So you will get a complete roadmap for DevOps engineer. This we already discussed. For job market, Cypress, for learning playwright. I'm into PT now, learning security testing. Is this will be unique combination will be helpful. See, Prithvi, security testing is a very vast domain. I would recommend before you jump into security, first understand performance. Before you start even performance, complete the functional part. Web, API, mobile. Once you're done with all, then move to performance, then security. Why is the Cucumber framework so popular nowadays? Does it offer any other specific advantage that other framework don't? See, Praveen, when it comes to Cucumber, see, understand BDD part. So companies who are working on BDD, they need some tools which supports BDD. So for Java, we have Cucumber and JBehave. These are the only two libraries which is available, right? So it is not Cucumber is getting popular or JBehave is getting popular, Serenity is getting popular. Companies are shifting to BDD, behavior driven development. So any companies who follows BDD, they have to use these tools. So it's not only Cucumber is famous now, it is famous almost from 10 years now. Again, it's very easy understand how feature file works, uh, how to generate spec files, test runner, hooks, data tables, and data maps, background. So it will take around 10 hours or 5 to 10 hours is more than enough to learn BDD. It's not too complicated. Anyways, we are going to cover in our batch. So you're part of my batch. So once you're done with our TTT, then we'll move to BDD. Is learning Cypress better considering every other person's now into select? Yes. So if you have to stand out in a crowd, you should have at least these advanced framework and tools which is coming. Ashish says I have common issue. We learn automation tools most of the time with different tools and languages. But when interviewer asks SQL in deeply, we are in trouble. What is the solution for this? See, Hasid, you are only thinking from automation perspective, right? But let's say some companies, they're heavily into ETL or maybe they're extensively using database. So they are looking candidate who can handle manual automation plus SQL as well. So when it comes to heavily, basically they will be asking a lot of questions when it comes to uh, joins, nested queries, procedures. So these are the three advanced topics. If you cover, it will take around 15 hours. More than that, nothing else. Then it's all about your practice. So DML, DCL, DTL, then move into the different joins that you have. Subqueries can be unlimited, but stick to limited subqueries. Then, if required, go to procedures. Most of the questions will be coming from these topics. So there's no trouble for this. It is just you need to spend some time. If you're able to identify the trend that Somebody's asking SQL, so you need to learn SQL. Automation test, QA automation, getting calls but not getting selected. Any tools, please? See, if you're getting calls and not getting selected, then you need to identify what is. See, there can be multiple reasons. Okay, maybe you're not able to explain a particular topic, or the question that they asked, you're not able to answer it. Maybe you're thinking that you answered in a correct manner, but somehow maybe some pointers, they're expecting some keywords which you're not able to mention in your answers. So the tip is always listen what you said. So when you attend interviews, when you go telephonic around, right, you generally feel nervous, you give answers and rush. We don't even notice what we said. So next time when you're giving interviews, at least record, listen to your recording. And when you go through the recording, you will understand what statement was not valid. Maybe certain statements are valid, but you could have added more points. So sometimes interviewer expecting a very concrete answer, certain keywords. If you use that, they're good to go, right? For example, if I ask you one question, what is Maven? You might start. We can use Maven for downloading dependencies. We can run our test cases using Maven. We can use Maven Surefire plugin. But they're expecting Maven is a build tool. Then start with your answer. Then this is how you implement it. These are the plugins you used, and this is how your flow works. So clearing interviews is a skill. You need to build that skill. Every answer should be structured, well defined. There should be the starting point, there should be the end point. So if you're getting calls, you're lucky. But if you're not able to select, it means something is wrong while giving answers. Or maybe if you're getting rejected in manager round, or maybe lead round, maybe in the HR round, then it's a different thing. Then you have to work on your behavior related questions. Sometimes I have seen people are able to clear technical, but they're getting rejected in the manager round. It could be they are expecting some good answers which you're not able to tell. So no specific tips, but these are the generic pointers which I mentioned when somebody is attending interviews. Features of future of testing tool like Tosca. It's say Tosca in the market almost for more than 5 to 6 years, I guess, more than that. So it's a paid tool and very costly tool. So companies who are using, they're actively hiring for Tosca guys. So only thing is, if you want to learn, practice, getting enough examples, tutorials is a little hard. Instead of Tosca, if you don't have a project, you can focus on Selenium, Playwright, Cypress. Then once you get into the project, then you can start exploring Tosca. How many multiple skills are mandatory required for 4+ experience? See, when it comes to 4+ experience, every company have a different job description. So you need to analyze for which company what is the job description is there. Based on that, you have to build your own skill set. But what I have seen is one tool from API, a Postman, Insomnia, HTTP client, Rest Assured, one tool from web automation site, Selenium, Cypress, Playwright. Not only this, along with it, whatever other tools we use like Maven, TestNG, Git, GitHub, Jenkins. For freshers, Jenkins and framework part, AWS not required. But 4+, 5+, these are the default skill set. Start scanning the job description. Go through LinkedIn, go through Rocket profile, go to Indeed, put location, 4+ experience, automation test engineer, go through the job description, identify what skills is common. If you don't have, build that skill and start applying. What are the basic expectation from an interview with 5+ experience in both? Just now, Akash, we mentioned, we discussed this point. So same thing will be applicable here as well. Best laptop for QA. See, any system is fine. I'm using Mac. I'm also using Windows. So make sure you just have 8 GB, minimum 8 GB RAM. I recommend 16 GB, 8 GB, latest processor, 256 SSD, more than enough. We don't need any high configuration laptop for all of this. But let's say if you're working on DevOps tools, Kubernetes, you need to install Docker. In that case, 16 GB is minimum, which I recommend, irrespective whether it's Windows or Mac. Quality talk with Rishabh. I'm working as QA in one startup, only one tester remaining are developers. How I handle 5 projects? See, Rishabh, it could be opportunity as well, or it depends how you look at it. Uh, when you have multiple projects, again, you need to see which one is on the higher priority, which one is adding more value, which is generating the most of the revenue. Not every project will have the same priority. So if you are the only tester, you cannot skip, but you need to prioritize. Again, depends. Let's say I'm assuming if you're a startup, you're working more than 12 to 14 hours. Start prioritizing that which project is requiring more effort, which is on the least priority, and that's how you have to dedicate the time. Maybe discuss with your developers. If you're in a startup, you can directly talk to CEO that these are the things, these are the projects. You tell me what should I do, where should I put much of my attention. So when you work with startup, things will become easier once you handle multiple projects, multiple roles, responsibility you're playing, right? So initially it looks little tricky, but when you spend 1 or 2 years, when and you look backward, you will see that you have learned most of the skills, because working in a startup is like you will be working most of the time on the different projects. Plus, you have to handle multiple activities. So I recommend everybody should get some experience of startup. uh, so consider this opportunity and please continue, but you need to prioritize. Good evening, Mukesh. Thank you for your session, helping for many people. Yeah, thank you so much, Sai. Blissful. Hi, Mukesh, could you please elaborate someone's oops concept used in Selenium while we write script in Java? See, interesting part, we use each and every concept in Selenium, right from objects, classes, polymorphism, compile time, runtime, inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction. Each and every oops concept we use in Selenium. Maybe I will record a video on this, because if I have to explain this in detail, it will take minimum 40 minutes, because I need to explain each oops concept and how it is connected to Selenium. Maybe I will record a video on this, but note this point, we use each and every oops concept. Sajeev says, can you please explain how to do automation using Excel file with Playwright JavaScript, like passing credential from Excel? See, Sajeev, when it comes to passing credential, Playwright have a dedicated playwright.config.js file. So Playwright don't say that you store your credentials in Excel. So if you have secured credentials, you can set as an environment variable. If you have project related configuration, playwright.config.js. If you have any other test data, mention in a CSV or in a JSON file, because you can directly use fixtures in Playwright to get the data. But purposefully, let's say you only have data in Excel, then you can use JS Excel library. You can import the data in array, and then you can pass this array data in your script. Just like in Selenium, by default, we don't have Excel support, right? We use Apache POI. We get the data, dump into data provider, then we use it. Same thing goes in Playwright. Do you have any crash course on Selenium Java testing you can be rest assured? Uh, I will not consider as a crash course, because we cover everything in depth. So my Selenium Java course goes for 80 hours, which is basically 4 months. Rest assured, again, it takes 60 hours. Postman plus rest assured. So it's in detail course, but if you don't want to like spend time on the live training, you can get the recordings, watch it at your own pace. Whenever you have a question, you can ask. But live training is extensive, right from scratch till the advanced. What do they ask in manager round? Again, there's a list of 30 to 40 questions. In manager round, they just want to see how you respond to different situations. Sometimes they will give you very stressful situations and they will ask you. Sometimes they will just ask you a simple puzzle, or they will give you certain scenarios that suppose if there's a conflict in the team, how you will handle it. Or maybe you have a deadline on this Friday, most of the features are not tested, what will be your approach? So all the behavior related questions, psychological related questions they ask in manager round. But let's say if that manager is very technical, they might ask you technical questions as well, right? But most of the time, since you already cleared two technical rounds, right, generally manager round, they focus on your attitude, your behaviors, how do you handle tough situations, this kind of questions. So again, generally in manager round, don't become over smart, give your natural answer, because most of the time we respond in natural way. So whatever comes naturally, answer that, but make sure it is not too extreme diplomatic, not too uh, I will say worst situation. Try to be in the middle. Sorry. Sai Kishore, hello Mukesh. Do we have any automation tool in which program is not the Java Python? See, Sai, if you try to escape from programming language, again you will be in trouble. Take this as a challenge. Sit for 30 days. 30 days non-stop, 1 hour every day. You will learn any programming language. Java 25 hours, Python 20 hours, Python JavaScript 20 hours, 1 hour every day. Practice and I will say expertise will take time, but in order to understand the core and the basic fundamentals, you need to spend minimum 1 month. So there are a lot of tools which is in the market where they say you don't need any programming language, you can write code, zero code, low code, right? But they are paid tools, and companies don't pay much when you have expertise on these kind of tools. So don't try to escape, because we know how the market is. If you again try to find a secret route or a smart route, that won't help. Sit, spend some good quality time. If you need help, take some training from anyone. If you don't want to take training, take help from your friends or somebody who is good in automation, but it's not tough. But it says the interview nervousness got me too. The interviewer asked a simple question regarding expert, but I messed up. Yes, see, when you are nervous, right, you cannot even answer basic questions. See, and what happens when you get nervous? Maybe they ask some question you could not answer, and you start feeling nervousness, right? It's okay if you don't know all the answers. 60 to 70%, if you're able to answer, please go ahead. If you don't know any specific answer, maybe you can say, maybe I have not worked on this. I did not get a chance to face this scenario. Can we move to the next question? That's all. No need to just give a fake answer, round and round. Nahi ghumana hai. Just say, I did not face this issue or this scenario. Can we move to the next question? The moment you get nervous, next few questions you will not be able to answer and you are out of the game. So it's okay if you're not able to answer each and every question, and that is not even the expected from the candidate. Playwright, good tool. Playwright, already I recorded 29 videos. Playwright with Java is coming soon. If you want to see Playwright with Java, Naveen Automation Labs have already completed one series on Playwright with Java. So you can watch out his channel also if you're looking for Java. JavaScript with Playwright is already available. Playwright with C Sharp is available on Karthik channel, executeautomation.com. Playwright with Python, I need to check. Please suggest as team lead automation roles interview tricks for package 25 LPA. See, Shashikant, package is not an issue. Many people with 5 plus, they're getting 25 lakhs ka package. Anyway, I know certain candidates who have 10 plus experience, they're still on the 15 lakhs. So package is not an issue. Issue is the companies that you're selecting and your previous package. Let's say if your previous package is 15, you're expecting 25, that will be a little tricky. You're expecting 80% hike, right? So if you're expecting 25, make sure you are in the range of 17 to 18, so you can expect 50% hike. Some companies they give 100% hike too, but that is very less. Recently, one of my student got 180% hike because her package was very less. When she did a next switch, it was 180%. So exception are everywhere. When it comes to roles and responsibilities, as a lead role, architect role, you should be comfortable with right from the scratch. Let's say if I give you a new project to automate, right from strategy till the execution maintenance, you should be able to handle everything. So when it comes to team lead, manual plus automation, you should be able to handle both the projects. In interviews, they will be asking all high level questions. They will not ask you what is string, what is Java, what is Selenium, what is WebDriver. They are expecting if you're a lead role, you should be able to answer big or high level questions. Mostly infra related, framework related, team related, test plan, test strategies, right? High level question, but make sure you understand the basic questions too. what they start with basics, then you should be able to answer it. So if you're not ready, take a 3 months training, 6 month training. Even if you don't want to take training, create your own roadmap, learn for 6 months, then apply. Package is not an issue right now. What kind of tools, technology we should focus on? Future is automation, test engineer. There's so many tools coming in the market. Stick to one primary tool, Selenium, secondary, Cypress, or Playwright. These two tools for web automation. For API, Postman, Insomnia, Rest Assured. For mobile automation, APM, one BDD framework, Cucumber. This is your functional part done. From performance side, you can take JMeter, K6. New load is paid. You can go with Gatling or Locust. I would recommend JMeter and K6. For security, there are a lot of tools. So this should be a roadmap. Ajay, how to get jobs in a startup as a fresher? See, Ajay, again, you need to put your profile. You need to start marketing yourself. When you say marketing, you have to create a good resume, upload on LinkedIn, Naukri, Indeed. Either you have to approach them, right? Cold calling, not cold calling, cold messaging, cold emailing. But if your profile is available on the job portals, they will reach out to you, because very less people join startups, right? Because of the instability and a lot of different factors. So if you have a skill set, you can directly approach. Otherwise, you can put your profile on the market, let them approach. Kunal says, hi sir, I'm looking for a job change. I have 7+ experience. How much salary should I expect? My current city is 15. Not too bad. 7+ experience, 15. You can expect 7+ 25. So again, 80% hike is very rare. 22 to 23 you can easily expect now. But let's say if your target is 25, maybe you can check if they provide some RSUs or shares or anything extra which you can waste for the next 4 years. Let's say if you're giving maybe 10 lakhs rupees of shares, then you can waste that for like first year 25%, second year 25%. That is how you can manage as per the industry level. Same question I answered. Kavya says, "Hi Mukesh, I have a feeling of the imposter syndrome. I'm studying from last 2 months. How much ever I study at the end, I feel like I forgot or not able to confidently think about the answer." See, Kavya, when you just read, and read, you will start forgetting. The best thing is, even if you're reading for 15 minutes, implement immediately. For example, if I give you one basic example, write a simple logic to reverse a string. Just giving one example. If you just go through the program, try to remember the logic, you will forget after 1 week. Even if you implement that part immediately on Eclipse, you understand the logic, how exactly you write the code, that will remain as a permanent memory. So again, you need to keep revising. Every topic you need to revise minimum 3 times in order to get registered to your brain. Because when it comes to programming, right, syntax is not quite straightforward. When it comes to Python, easy syntax. In Java, syntax is not that straightforward, right? So one is your core fundamentals. Second is the syntax. Syntax you will always forget. Even sometimes I forget how to write this logic. Sorry, how to write this piece of code. I know the logic, but I take help of the blogs and the chat GPT, the different AI tools. Sometimes I do Google. Because I know the logic, I just need the code snippet which I can use it. So if you're forgetting the syntax, it's same for everyone. But do not forget the fundamentals. If you have that you are forgetting, make your own notes in your way. See, I generally carry this. So whenever I read any new thing related to maybe Cypress, Playwright, I got some new tip, I immediately write down, because I cannot register everything in my brain. Then I experiment, uh, do the exploration, make my final notes, store as a Google Doc. So if you're just studying, you're not implementing, will not help. So from today onwards, 30 minutes reading, 30 minutes practical, make your own notes, summary, put somewhere on the Google Doc, revisit after 2 days, again revisit after 2 days. And we're not able to talk confidently, it's because of the subject. See, if I ask you anything related to your home location or your hometown, you will be very confident because you have lived 30 years in the same town or the same city. You will be very confident. Let's say if I talk about your hobbies, you will be very confident because you know that subject. If I ask anything related to maybe Kubernetes, by default, you will not be confident because you don't know that topic. So when you gain expertise on a specific topic, you will be confident automatically. You might miss a couple of keywords, that's okay, but confidence will come when you have expertise on that topic. So in short, this is what I can explain. Maybe if you have more questions, we can discuss. What should be used as a cloud run for web mobile app? I want to run the test script without using my local machine at night time. My company is using Bitbucket and AWS. See, Sudhanshu, if you already have AWS, you can book an instance. In that system, you can have two options. Either you set up your own Selenium grid, or you can use Lambda test or any other platform where you want to run. So either build your own custom grid on AWS and run via Jenkins. So if you want to use any of these cloud providers, you can use their services. You need at least one CI server which can run your test overnight. So I'm not sure Bitbucket have this service, but in GitHub Actions we have this scheduler. You can set a cron pattern that I want to run 3 a.m., 4 p.m., 10 a.m. Bitbucket also must be having this. All the CI tools work on the same principle. So in Bitbucket, if I'm not wrong, you can create a YAML file. You can mention the agent. You can also mention the event when you want to trigger, which branch you want to select, which test you want to run. Pankaj says, hi Mukesh, great session. Thank you so much, Pankaj. Can you please tell about the required certification for Java? See, there's no official certification, Pankaj. Don't fall into this certification part. No official certification from Selenium side. So if you go to their official site also, just read this page. See, even if you get certification, but if you're not able to answer them in interviews, it will not help. So focus on the learning instead of certification. Shilpi Joshi, which tool I can use for desktop-based application testing? Currently, we're using SQL library, which is not very user-friendly. Shilpi, we are getting a major updates in SQL, most probably after July. They are revamping the complete blog, which I have read. They will start supporting Java 17. I know it's not user-friendly, especially in Mac. It needs couple of permissions. But when it comes to desktop automation, we have very limited tools. You can use UiPath Community Edition, but again, there is a limitation of 2 bots you can deploy. Just check the documentation how much they support for the community version. But securely, if you're able to use it, I know it's not user friendly, but if it is able to satisfy your requirement, please continue. Pramod says, hi Mukesh, I have recently joined a good MNC. Thanks for many congratulations, Pramod. Good to see your message. Uh, Amit says, how's the current market? Is there any opening for 10 plus experience? Is Java Selenium APM skill good enough? See, with 10 plus, only this skill set will not help, Amit. You need to add at least one of the cloud platform. I would recommend AWS or Azure. API testing is mandatory. I would recommend Postman and rest assured by default. One BDD framework is important. So make sure at least you have these basic skill set. So these are the basic skill set which is expected for 5 plus candidate also. So work on this. Balchandra Yadav, playwright with TypeScript learning path. Can you please share your thought? So Balchandra, I have a playwright with JavaScript, playwright with TypeScript. Navin Automation Lab have a series on this. You can check. Hi Harsh, good to see you. Hi भैया सर्विस नाउ ने डिच किया बट इधर पीएस में टीम लीड बना दिया. Yeah, that's a good thing, Harsh. Please continue. See, you should experience the different roles because when you switch, this will role will definitely help you. So ditch is not the right word. Maybe the position is on hold. Maybe they found a better candidate. Maybe So many reasons. So good if you got a team lead role. Please continue with that. Give your best shot. Once you have skill set, companies will run behind. You don't have to think about what happened in the past. बट उसका अच्छा समझो कि उसकी वजह से आपकी प्रिपरेशन हो गई, राइट? 2-3 महीने में आपके। मोस्ट वेलकम हर्ष, गुड टू सी यू। Okay, so Ganesh, which automation tool we should learn other than Selenium for API, mobile, then go with Cypress or Playwright? See, Selenium is just one library, I would say, right? Again, different components of Selenium IDE, WebDriver Grid. Selenium will only help you for web automation. But when you do testing, right, it involves multiple things. It includes database, APIs, if you're into performance tools. So don't stick to Selenium. Don't limit your learning. Keep learning. Go through your job descriptions. Depends on experience. I'm not sure about your experience. Based on the experience, your tool set will change. Based on your domain, the tool set will change. So a lot of factors involved, Ganesh. Uh, but as of now, focus on the API testing. Thanks, Mukesh, for coming live. Most welcome, Blissful. I'm not sure the real name, but good to see your message. Pankaj says, "Hi Mukesh. Thanks, Mukesh. What are the top Fortune companies expect in CV for 7+?" See, Pankaj, instead of telling me this answer, you identify top 10 companies that you want to target. For example, maybe you targeted Microsoft. Let's say you're not targeting FANG or MANG based companies. Let's say Uber, PayPal, American Express, Visa, SAP Labs, Shell, Rakuten, Walmart, Cisco. Identify 10 companies, go to their job portal, search for automation test engineer, see the openings which they have posted almost for 6 months, understand that tech skills which they're expecting, make sure you learn and start apply after a few months. So once you identify the trend, let's say when it comes to Swiggy, I'm just giving example, Swiggy, Uber, they're mostly into mobile, right? So they focus more on the mobile testing. So if you see the job description, they're expecting XUI test, they're expecting APM, they're expecting Charles River proxy, because they're focusing more on the mobile. Let's say, but you're focusing on, let's say, American Express, Visa, or this kind of company, they're expecting somebody should have the expertise of the banking domain, right? So again, based on that, domain expertise required, some tools are required. And this is, hello, so I have experience of 2 years in game testing, no call. See, Andy, don't say that you have a game testing knowledge. You are a tester, you are a QA, you have a testing knowledge. If you yourself restrict on the game testing, how you can expect that you will be getting a call? So create a generic profile that you understand testing. You have understanding of testing terminologies, the testing types you do, testing methodologies that we have, the tools that we have. Your skill is not game testing. Your skills is testing. You understand testing. You can do testing well. So instead of focusing only the tools which you use in the current organization, focus on the general skill set which is required in order to get a call. Sometimes we think that this is only the world, but you need to understand how the market is expecting. Suppose even if I have to hire someone, uh, I will not search for a game tester, right? I will look for a maybe QA engineer with 2 years experience who should have a knowledge on Selenium. Build that skill set, build your resume, update your LinkedIn profile, and start applying. Thank you so much, Ganesh. Can you please share the fresher resume template? My resume is not getting selected. Okay, Sharon, go to LinkedIn. A lot of profiles you will get. Go to their profiles. You can download their resume for template. But I will share the templates. Maybe I will record a video that what you should have in resume for 2+, for 5+, 8+. But there's no specific template for resume. There's a standard template. You have a skill set, then you have projects. Before projects, if you can create the technical summary of the resume, and then your projects and the clients that you have worked on. Rohit says we're working correctly. So Rohit, currently I'm working on my company itself. Last year I registered a company called Otwani Technology Solution. Before that I worked with Huawei, then Dell, SAP Labs, iNeuron. Then last year I started this OTS. So I'm glad I started my own venture. So working on my YouTube videos, courses, trainings. Yadav says how to handle 3 months notice period. Lot of HR wants to immediately. See, Yadav, Shivam Yadav, no answer for this. It is, you can say it's negotiable. Try to negotiate with your HR if possible. Otherwise, you have to be very honest that I have a 3 months of notice period, which can be negotiated after discussion with the HR. So when you use this, uh, can be negotiated, chances are little high that you will get a call, even though it's not negotiable, but still chances will be little high. Which framework is good for BDD? For BDD, go ahead with Cucumber, no other option. For TDD, you can go with the standard Distance G. Most welcome, Pankaj. I'm new to Cypress JavaScript. I have been assigned to a project in company. How should I learn? So, Dhaval, it's a great opportunity. Please go ahead, give your best shot, heart and soul. It's very easy to learn Cypress nowadays, especially thanks to ChatGPT. You write anything, you will get the snippet. Just change locators, company URL, the application that you want to automate, the conditions, we are good to go. In terms of documentation, Cypress is best. Go to their official website. For everything, they have a snippet with proper explanation. ChatGPT, Jindawat, kuch bhi likho, you will get the answer. So give a best shot, because once you understand uh, how Cypress internally works, you can make the changes accordingly. So initial few days, I will recommend focus on the Cypress architecture, the basics, how internally the weighting strategies work. Once your fundamentals are clear, then it's all about copy paste. I'm not asking you to copy paste, but this is what we do most of the time, right? We don't write everything. You understand the code part, you know the logic, tweak it, and continue. Hi, Jesh. Thanks for making that video. Most welcome, Andy. Yeah, so almost 1 hour. I will take few more questions, then we can end the session. If you have any further question, feel free to ask. Most welcome, Bhagesh. Okay, so can we expect session on ChatGPT using in testing both? Yes, yes, I have a video on this. Let me share the video. That is called Crash Course, something I created for testers. So this is with 3.0. After that, we have 4.0. So I will make a video with 4.0 as well with ChatGPT. But this will give you good idea. Not only think from manual, you can use ChatGPT in every single area, whether in terms of documentation, SQL, manual automation, again, different tools. You ask anything, you will get the reply in few seconds. Hi, Shweta Shushrat. Good to see you. You joined late. We're about to end the session. But yeah, good to see you. I have a gap, but I'm a fresher. How to join as a QA? See, Mithila, when you have a gap and you are a fresher, try to target startup. Uh, Many companies, they don't accept gap as a fresher, right? So target some startups where they don't have such conditions. When you have some companies list, they say minimum 70%, no gaps, 2024 pass out. They have a lot of filters. If you don't fall into these filters, don't try to get into these companies. Maybe start with a startup or mid-sized companies, get some experience, adjust your gap. Initially, you might have to struggle a little bit in terms of skill set, But once you get into that one role, 2 years spent in that company, then you can do a switch. So initially, don't focus on the salary which you're getting, because you have to justify that you are still relevant in the market even after gap. So initially, don't focus on the salary, focus on the learning. 1 year, 2 years, do your next switch. I have experience of 2 years. Can I? No, a big no for this. Learning Cypress or Python, which is better? See, Viru, this question is little different. Python is a programming language. Cypress is a automation tool. If you learn Python, it will be used in different use cases, right? You can do API testing with Python, web automation with Python. In DevOps, we use most of the time Python. So Python is a programming language. That's a generic skill that you should have. So your question should not have or, it should be and. What should I learn first? Python and Cypress. So I would recommend, if you are interested, Python is one of the easiest programming language on this earth. Trust me. I have 19 videos on Python. If you want to start, just type Python tutorials by Mukesh Otwani. Go through the 19-20 videos. You will learn Python. Cypress, 20 hours to 30 hours. Very easy. It's for web automation. You can do API automation with Cypress too. See, once you understand Python, you can do Selenium with Python, Playwright with Python, right? Request module with Python. There are a lot of things that you can do when you have Python. What is custom framework in API testing? See, when it comes to custom framework, anything which you have customized. See, when it comes to automation, you have always two choices. You download a framework, make the changes and use it. Second is you build your own framework, custom framework, where you can make the changes, where you can change the configuration. So when you start giving interviews, they always expect that you should have understanding how to build a framework. So custom framework you have created from the scratch. Okay, Dhaval says Cypress JavaScript. Sir, what issue I'm facing is I'm not getting suggestions like Java. So I get confused with the syntax and the method. Any solution? So Dhaval, Cypress also have auto suggestions. Maybe in Visual Code, there's one small setting that you need to do to get auto suggestions. But I totally understand, if you are starting a new tool, you need to get comfortable with the syntaxes. So auto suggestion help. I have a video on this. Just go ahead and search Cypress auto suggestion by Mukesh Otwani. There's a small change you have to do, and you will start getting auto suggestions. So once you get the syntax, make a note somewhere that this is used for this. Maybe for drop down, we have to use this. For let's say file upload, we have to do this. Create your own notes. Create a Google Doc. Maintain headings. You can refer whenever you want. Otherwise, ChatGPT Jindabad. Shamila, can you share your thoughts on cybersecurity testing? This is a dedicated topic which I'm not comfortable and not having expertise. Shivam. Maybe I will add some of the other content creator who are creating content on cybersecurity. Any upcoming batch for Python Selenium? Yes, Nitin. But after Raksha Bandhan, because in that window I'm traveling. So any new batches on Cypress and Selenium with Python will start after 19th of August. I will keep you guys posted. Okay, last three questions, then we can end this session. I have 3.6 of experience in both manual automation. Please suggest some how to upskill. Bhagesh, I would recommend go back to this live sessions. Once again, we discussed this. We don't have enough time, but we discussed this. Planning to take ISTQB certification. Is it good for 8+ experience? CS Viru, if you're targeting some companies, like mostly service-based companies where they deal with clients, and some client have a requirement that I need only the candidate or the resources with ISTQB certified, in that case, yes, it will be weightage. But only if you're looking for a, for interviews, it will not help much. So good if you have certifications, you will feel confident, it will add some values. And for service based companies, yes, it is required, but only depends on the client. Not every client is expecting every resource should be ISTQB certified, but yes, few companies have this requirement. When feeling down to search new opportunity session, boost confidence, get tips. Yeah, thank you so much, Balchandra. With 10 plus experience, standard CV matters or need to customize based on experience because call frequency get reduced. So when it comes to see 10 plus experience, every obviously the number of calls will be less. So you have to make resume not as a standard. You should highlight what achievements you have done in the last 10 years. Maybe you did one complete project from start to end. Maybe you did end-to-end automation framework. You created a dedicated automation team and you're still handling that team. Highlight your achievement, technical summary, then your projects. Because you need to showcase in the last 10 years what achievement you did, even if you have not achieved much, but still highlight your technical skills. So with 10 plus, you should have a skill set in all the areas. So yes, standard CVs will not give you much attraction. Try to add some uh, achievements and the extra skills that is not very common. Postman playlist is complete for all. Yes, Postman series is almost complete, but that is with the previous version of Postman. Now there are a lot of changes happened in the Postman. So I will create a dedicated series with new features. Nowadays, Postman also support load testing. Postman also have Postman on web. You can do a lot of new stuff like you can also integrate AI with Postman. So new series is coming soon. But whatever I have covered, these are evergreen topics. So enough for interviews. Okay, last two questions, then we can end. What is the upcoming playlist on your channel? So Gunath, I need help in this. So this is from each and everyone. I'm a little confused which should be the next series. So if you're expecting a series on a specific topic, please let me know in the chat section, or once this video will end, maybe you can let me know in the comment section what new playlist you're looking for. Then I will try to create a playlist on this, because till now I have playlist on Cypress, Playwright, Selenium, Java, Postman, GitHub, almost on everything. So if you have a specific tool or framework in the mind, it could be interview questions, it could be Java programs, it could be a new tool which is coming, it could be based on AI. Let me know. Uh, I will take it forward. Jaya says, can you please explain Selenium framework with Python? It needs a dedicated video, Jaya. Maybe I will record a video on this. In live session, explaining framework in 1 minute will not help you as well. Plus, it will not give me satisfaction. So maybe I will record a video on this. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much for listening almost for 1 hour. If you have any feedback, suggestions, any new tool that you're looking for, let me know. Uh, I will try my best. So wishing you all. Okay, it's almost done. So have a nice day. Good night, and see you in the next live. Bye bye. Take care.